Hello and welcome back to the David67 Celtic News YouTube channel. We bit of a delayed video this afternoon due to one or two wee technical difficulties, which we'll go into in a wee minute or two. This video going to be a wee update on Celtic news, including analysis of several YouTube scouting videos for the player called Koen Casteels, a 31-year-old Belgian goalkeeper currently playing in Germany for Wolfsburg, but said to be on Celtic's radar. Also, a wee bit of a update on new contracts for two of Celtic's players, Daniel Kelly and Rocco Vata. Also, a couple of potential transfer targets, and also a wee bit of news of Lennon, now manager at Rapid Bucharest, wanting to take one of Celtic's players away with him as a main defender for his Rapid Bucharest team. Now, ordinarily, when we're looking at new players, I would add in some scouting reels from YouTube extracts. However, due to copyright reasons with the Bundesliga in Germany, they are not copywriting free the footage from Koen Casteels games for Wolfsburg, and so I've simply looked at the videos and have done my own interpretation, but do feel free to watch the videos yourself to get a more of a flavour for Koen Casteels. But as I said, unfortunately, the Bundesliga isn't sharing copyright for videos on YouTube, and so I can't include it as I usually would do in this video. This player is called Koen Casteels, 31-year-old Belgian international. He spent the great majority of his career in the German Bundesliga, playing for Werder Bremen and Hoffenheim, but primarily many years for Wolfsburg. He is moving on for definite at the end of this season. His contract has a few more weeks to run, but he apparently has said goodbye to his Wolfsburg teammates, and it would appear that currently there are two teams in the market for him, Celtic and Anderlecht. And it is thought potentially that the offer of Champions League football might well encourage Casteels to come to Scotland rather than going home back to play in Belgium. So, looking at Casteels' stats, as I said, Koen Casteels currently finishing his contract with Wolfsburg. 31-year-old Belgian international has 8 caps for the full Belgian international side, and he's also been on the subs bench for Belgium at full international level 57 times. He has 9 under 21 caps, 20 under 19 caps for Belgium, and has represented Belgium at all levels up from under 15 to full international. He, as I said, primarily has played in Germany, and most of his games have been with Wolfsburg. He has 7 Champions League appearances for Wolfsburg, and this season just ended. He has 27 appearances with 5 clean sheets for Wolfsburg. Did have a spell out through injury with his shoulder. He's had a couple of shoulder injuries over his career, and so missed around about 5 games this year for Wolfsburg, but he was their number one throughout the season. Over his whole career with Wolfsburg, 275 games and 91 clean sheets. So over his full career for Wolfsburg at the top of the Bundesliga, 1 clean sheet in every 3 games, which is an impressive stat. And looking at his other features, he is 6'5.5", and so clearly a really big goalkeeper. And and has the kind of height that should allow him to be quite dominant in the box, coming for crosses, corners, high balls, etc. Now, looking at the actual video, he clearly is a goalkeeper who is very agile and acrobatic for a big man. He also spreads himself incredibly well to block shots, also very good at blocking shots with his feet. Good aerial ability, very quick reactions, and for me is a very impressive goalkeeper. When I've been watching his highlights on various different YouTube videos, it reminds me a lot of our great goalkeeper of recent times, Fraser Forster, another really big goalkeeper who spreads himself very well, and the other goalkeeper who reminded me of was Peter Schmeichel, and so clearly is a very impressive goalkeeper. I think we can be rest assured that he is experienced at the highest level. Now, he would be available on a free transfer, but his actual transfer rating is as an €8 million goalkeeper, and his transfer value has been as high as 14 million in the recent past. And so, although he would be a free transfer goalkeeper, signing on a freedom of contract free agent basis, he clearly is a really top level goalkeeper. At the moment, it does appear that Anderlecht and Celtic are the two main clubs looking at him. There doesn't appear to be great interest as yet, but it only has recently become apparent that he is definitely leaving Wolfsburg, as there would have been the option, obviously, at the age of 31, and with that level of experience and being their number one in the last season, there would be obviously the option of Wolfsburg keeping him for another 3, 4, 5 years, etc. Now, of all the goalkeepers we've been supposedly linked with over the recent month or two, I think he is right up there with Urjan Čekier, and I think if I was to choose between Urjan Čekier and Koen Casteels, I would go for Koen Casteels, as I think he would settle into Scottish football better. I think he's a bit more commanding in the box and equally good as a shot stopper. I can easily see him as being a top level goalkeeper in Scotland, and also being that top level goalkeeper we need in Europe as well. So we'd be really interested to see what you feel yourself regarding Koen Casteels, so do feel free to pop your comments in the comment section, and do have a wee look at his other scouting videos via YouTube and via the internet. So just to finish off today's video, just a wee bit of news regarding Celtic contracts and potential transfer targets. Good news is that Celtic have offered 4-year deals to Rocco Vata and Daniel Kelly at higher levels than the most recent offers, and it's to be seen whether Rocco Vata and Daniel Kelly and their agents and advisors take up these enhanced offers from Celtic. I think personally it would be very much in the interest of both Vata and Kelly to sign these new deals at Celtic. Both of them have been involved in the first team training and the first team squads since the start of this year. Kelly had a number of impressive sub appearances, as did Rocco Vata. Vata's contract is up in a couple of weeks' time, and there has been interest from Italy and the English Premier League. And if he was to leave the club at this point, we would only get compensation fee. Daniel Kelly's contract runs up to the end of 2024, and so would be looking potentially to negotiate with other clubs a move in the summertime onwards, and so it does seem an imperative to get both Kelly and Vata signed up. I think those two are players who could easily turn into Celtic top-level players of the future, and obviously both fulfil the homegrown and Scottish-based quota for UEFA competitions. And so we'll see over the next few weeks just what transpires with those two contract offers. Does look like Norwich are planning to have Adam Idah as part of their first team squad for next season to try and get themselves out of the English Championship, which they failed to do in the recent playoffs and sacked their manager straight away. It does appear that, however, that Norwich have released a few players, including Sidney van Hooijdonk, and so Adam Idah seems to be in the mix to be part of the Norwich squad. Not clear whether they see him as being a week in, week out starter, or whether he's more rotational or bench player. And it may be, if his role at Norwich is not up to his liking, he may well try to force a move back to Celtic. And I personally think a fee of around 5 million or so would be perfectly reasonable for Idah, who I would see as being striker number 3 in our pecking order, with a new top-level striker coming in to support Kyogo and act as a rotational player with Kyogo and that new striker alternating on the bench, with Idah as an alternative option to go with that. One other interesting piece of transfer news is that Lennon has taken over as manager at Rapid Bucharest, and he has immediately indicated he is interested in signing Stephen Welsh to be one of his key defenders in Romania. Not totally clear whether that would be a loan deal with a view to purchase, or simply a purchase straight away. But I think it might well be a good option for Celtic to move Stephen Welsh on, create space for younger players to come through, and or bring in another top-level central defender to go with Carter Vickers, Nawrocki and Lagerbielke. And talking of players who might well be available for transfer in a position that Celtic do need to reinforce, Josh Doig, who is the current under-21 Scotland captain, who's had a very successful spell in Italy, moved to Sassuolo in the Serie A in the January transfer window. Unfortunately, that club has been relegated to Serie B, and it's said that Sassuolo are looking to move on some of their higher-priced, higher-waged players to kickstart their promotion campaign back out of Serie B to Serie A. I think Josh Doig might well be a very interesting option for Celtic at left back. He was quite an impressive young player at Hibs before he moved off to Italy, and has actually been quite in demand, previously playing for Verona before he moved to Sassuolo, with interest from England and from France. And so it's to be seen whether Doig would prefer a move back to Scotland, or whether he's looking to move to one of the higher prestige leagues elsewhere in Europe. The stories linking Arjanit Muric of Burnley to Celtic seem to have died away, and so at this point I haven't done any further scouting of him. So that finishes things off for today. If you have enjoyed the video, do click that like button. If you're new to the channel, do click the subscribe button. Keep the numbers pushing past 500, and as always, do feel free to pop your comments regarding Casteels and the other Celtic issues currently into the comment section, and we can have a nice chat and debate amongst like-minded Celtic fans. And so for today, goodbye and hail, hail.